Okay, I've preset the dropouts in here, made sure they're nice and tight and all the way bottomed out in their slots. And I've even set this, and that makes sure the slots are in perfect alignment. Handy tool. It's all ready to go. We will make sure this is nice and wet with epoxy, but we try not to get it on the inside of the tube. That would be bad. Now we did wax the post here, so if you do get some in there, don't worry, it won't stick to that metal. You don't want to put too much in excess because it's just going to smear off. You'll have to clean it up. This is going on the inside here. You don't want to put too much inside because it'll just snow plow into the end. But definitely make the surface all wet with glue. Okay. You can see that glue is all the way around. This end we want to be sealed up rather well because sometimes water will get into frames and we prefer it to not get beyond the C-tube. There, plenty of glue. Make sure that's nicely bottomed out. Okay, next is the down tube. So we'll do both ends of the down tube. Plenty of glue. I'm also going to do this end too, being careful not to get glue all over the place. So this one will glue in like this. Rotate this down. Seated. Okay. Now is the top tube. Lots of glue on there. Okay, remember this is the one with the cutout for the down tube, so I know where that goes. I'm going to roll this back a little bit, put this right here, and then bring this through. Hold that and push again. This is sitting nicely, it's sitting right here. A little bit off the circle, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. This one's important to stay on the circles. The tape is doing a good job. This one's just slightly off, but so I can adjust it. Actually, I'm going to push this up, and that will make it so I can move this over a little bit. We have a little bit of adjustability here. I'm going to stay with that. Put the tape on it now. Yep, that's pretty good. Another piece of tape on it just for fun. Now we can do the rear. Looks like we're going to need more glue. Okay, I started this one with the last batch. I'm just going to keep going with it here. This is our left chainstay. And I like to also put some on the surface of the metal just to make sure that the metal has good wet out. Might be a little excessive, but this is one part of the bike I like to make sure is really well glued. The other parts don't matter quite so much simply because the glue isn't really holding the bike together. It's just holding the bamboo together while you take it out of the fixture and wrap it. You want to be careful not to wedge things so much that it tilts and causes misalignment. Okay, I think we'll live with that. That's good. Wet the underside of this tab. Make it nice and wet. Put a bunch in here. Put one of my little sticks in. Put more glue on it. And glue on this end too. Plenty of glue. You want to put plenty of glue, especially on the parts that might have a gap. And I know that this seat stay often has a big gap sometimes. You of course want to have the smallest gap possible, but sometimes you need it. Okay, so this is where I can adjust my seat stay tab just a little bit to make it better alignment. There we go. Kind of tricky to do this without getting glue on your fingers. Here's my jack. I'm going to use this to push that up against the seat tube. That looks good. Now I can do the right side. Here's the chainstay. Plenty of glue. And this is maybe a little more right there. Push against that. Okay. I'll catch these big drips just because I might need the glue. And let's see if this is looking aligned. I'll bend this. Now I can see the other one, so might as well bend that beforehand. I'm clamping it with my fingers. See the glue come out? I'm going to do that with this bottom one too before I forget. I'll use this to come around and make little fillets where the bamboo joins. I'm going to shape that for the wrapping later, so I might as well make it as smooth as I can now. There's a gap in there. I'm going to fill that with whatever glue I've got left.